I always trusted Emily. We'd been married for 4 years. Steady, uneventful, comfortable. The kind of relationship people envy from the outside because it's quiet, predictable, safe. Until last Thursday, I was grabbing her charger from the bedside drawer when I saw it. A second phone, smaller, older, hidden under a pile of receipts and old prescription bottles. The battery was dead, and there was no charger in sight. My stomach twisted. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I slid it back into the drawer, heart thudding. That night, I barely slept. Her usual goodnight kiss felt manufactured, practiced. The next morning, I bought a charger and plugged in the mystery phone while she was at work. My hands trembled as it powered on. There were only 3 apps: messages, camera, and a lock notes app. The messages were what you'd expect, until I saw a thread labeled Jay. Jay, you were amazing last night. Same time next week. Emily, of course. Same hotel. Jay, always. You know I don't like surprises. The messages went back nearly 6 months. I couldn't breathe. Jay! Who is Jay? I scrolled through the messages obsessively, looking for a clue, and then I found a photo. It was blurry, taken from behind. A man in a hotel mirror, muscular build, short hair, a tattoo on his shoulder. It was me. No, wait. It looked like me, but it wasn't. The tattoo was wrong. The man was a few years younger. My face, but not quite, like a shadow version. A twin I never had. I sat frozen until my phone buzzed. A new text from Emily. Can you pick up wine on your way home? Dinner's at 7. Love you, Redheart. I stared at it for a long time, then glanced at the phone again. A message had just come in. Jay, he doesn't suspect, does he? I stood up, shaky, suddenly aware how quiet the house was. Too quiet. And then I heard the front door unlock. But Emily wasn't due home for another hour. Would you like a continuation? Or a version where he turns the tables? The door clicked open. I barely had time to stash the spare phone back in the drawer and step out of the bedroom. My hands were slick with sweat. Emily? I called out, forcing calm into my voice. No answer. Footsteps creaked on the hardwood floor, slower, heavier than hers. Then a man turned the corner. My heart stopped. He looked exactly like me. Same jawline, same eyes, same hair, styled just like mine. But it wasn't me. I felt like I was staring into a distorted mirror. Same reflection, different soul. And the tattoo, the exact one from the photo on Emily's phone, a serpent coiled around a dagger on his shoulder. He smiled first. You're early, he said. I couldn't move. Who the hell are you? He laughed softly, like we were sharing an inside joke. She didn't tell you, did she? He stepped closer, eyes scanning the room like he'd been here 100 times before. Well, I guess now's as good a time as any. Tell me what? She didn't find you by accident. Emily's job, she recruits men like you. Men with a certain look, a certain background. You were the prototype. I'm the real thing. I stared at him, cold dread pouring through my veins. What are you talking about? I'm the original, brother, he said. You were just part of the experiment. A test. To see if the copy could replace the source. You're insane. I'm you, he said, but better, stronger, loyal to the project. She got attached to you, which wasn't supposed to happen. That's the problem. You were never meant to live this long. He reached into his jacket. I lunged. We crashed into the coffee table, the lamp shattering beside us. His hand gripped the syringe, glinting silver, already loaded. I knocked it away, punching wild, adrenaline in full control. He was fast, like he'd trained for this moment. But I was desperate and angry. Something primal took over. By the time I pinned him, his face was bloodied, still smirking. You still don't get it, do you? He whispered, lips cracked. There are more of us. Emily's not who you think. She never was. Sirens in the distance. A neighbor must have called. I stumbled back, heart hammering, as red and blue lights danced across the window. But all I could hear was his final word before blacking out. Run. They arrested me. When the cops stormed in, all they saw was me, covered in blood, crouched over a man who looked just like me but wasn't breathing. The syringe was on the floor. The second phone? Gone. Emily never came home. At the station, I told them everything. About the double. About Emily. About the photo, the messages, the project. They listened politely, took notes, and then left me in a cold room with a flickering light and a camera in the corner. An officer finally returned, slid a folder across the table. There's no record of an Emily working at that company. No marriage license. No credit cards in her name. This woman, he held up a photo I barely recognized, doesn't exist. My world tilted. You had a breakdown, he said slowly. We found a body in your house. You attacked him. No signs of forced entry. No one else there. But there were drawings, notes, delusions. I stared at the photo. My Emily, but different. Eyes colder, mouth tighter. The same woman, only stripped of the warmth I thought I knew. They released me a week later. No charges, no answers, just a prescription and a warning. But I knew the truth, or enough of it. She had disappeared into whatever organization she worked for. And whoever he was, whatever he wasn't the only one. I saw it in his eyes before he died. I was a test, a field experiment, measured, watched, replaced. Now I live quietly. No phones, no cameras. I move every few months. Cash only. I don't speak to anyone unless I have to. And still, sometimes late at night, I catch a glimpse in the mirror, a twitch in the corner of my eye, a movement that isn't quite mine. And I wonder, am I still the prototype? Or have they already switched me out?